Looking for a pocket rocket that won't break the bank? Volkswagen Up GTI may be the car you're looking for. Launched in 2011, Up replaced VW Fox. I can still remember going to the launch event and thinking this is going to be like the next iGo. Boring, but so uncomfortable it'll keep me awake. And boy was I wrong, because VW Up turned out to be a comfortable and spacious car for the segment it is in. Sure, the A segment is dominated by Fiat 500 and Fiat Panda, which together sell almost 4 times as much as Up, along with its siblings Skoda Citigo and Seat Mii. Okay, Toyota Aygo, Peugeot 108 and Citroën C1 also sell more than the VW triplets, but that's still number 3 in Europe, and it's well deserved, taking into account relatively high price. This segment is price sensitive, so a cheaper Panda wins, especially as it's a 5-door as standard. If you want style, Fiat 500 is not much more expensive, and if it's practicality and comfort you're looking for, well, don't look for them in a Toyota Aygo. And what about performance? Originally, Up was available with naturally aspirated 60 or 75 horsepower 1-liter petrol engines. The latter was good enough for some ring road driving as long as you didn't venture into the left lane. In 2016, as part of the facelift, Up was given a 90 horsepower 1.0 TSI engine, and it became clear more powerful version is in the works, since 115 horsepower version was used in Octavia and the Golf. GTI was on its way. Up GTI was officially presented in May 2018 during VW FanFest in Wörthersee. Is that how you pronounce it? 115 horsepower, sub 9 seconds 0 to 100 kilometers per hour time, and less than 1,000 kilograms make this car heavier than the original Golf GTI. However, since it's slightly more powerful and it has more torque, 200 Newton meters, it makes it reasonably fun and reasonably priced as well. Oh yeah, baby! Where's the gear? Recently I had the opportunity to drive Volkswagen's 3 GTI models in the Maritime Alps. Check out this video by clicking the link in the upper right corner of the screen. But if you don't live in the Maritime Alps, you have to live with the Up GTI like with every other car. Is it a good idea for a daily driver? Well, it depends on what you're looking for. I like Golf GTI because it's a good compromise between performance and everyday usability. Regular Up is relatively comfortable, but drop it 15mm, give it harder springs and 17-inch alloys, and it becomes too much of a toy. Up GTI likes to jump on uneven surfaces, and this affects traction. Moreover, driving over a mere speed bump becomes a nuisance. Not because you have to slow down, but because you'll have to crawl over it. It's that hard. Potholes you want to avoid. This could actually be a fun game because Up GTI is very nimble. Steering is sensitive to small inputs, then you have to lean on the outside wheels and let it roll through the corner. Understeer can be corrected by lifting your foot off the gas or flicking the wheel. Lift off oversteer is a possibility. By the way, ESP cannot be disabled. ESP button disables optional emergency braking system, which is a good idea when you're driving on a track. However, there doesn't seem to be a clear indication of whether the system is on or off. Gears engage easily, most of the time, except that time I couldn't find fourth. But like in most 3-cylinder engine cars, reaching higher revs just takes too long. Oh, despite being turbocharged, it just goes and goes and goes and goes and goes. It just doesn't feel like a hot hatch. Brakes are effective, and during my mountain drive, they didn't seem to overheat. That said, you have to press the brake pedal really deep before proper braking starts.
I haven't noticed it before, but the A-pillars are massive. Perhaps it's because I've never driven an up dynamically in heavy traffic. There's enough of a blind spot for a car to disappear in there on a roundabout. And the sound. Volkswagen uses a sound symposer. This means an artificial bass sound is generated inside the cabin, but it barely masks the three-banger noise. I don't mind three-cylinder engines, but there is no amount of trickery that's going to make them sound like a Ferrari.
According to the outgoing NEDC standard, Volkswagen promises less than 5 liters per 100 kilometers combined. Realistically, it's more like 6, which happens to be much closer to the new WLTP standard, according to which Up GTI should use between 5.6 and 5.7 liters combined. This car is also one of the first VW models to be equipped with gasoline particulate filter, or GPF. Up interior is spacious for a small city car. There is a proper glove box, cup holders, a shelf for small items, but I have a problem with how the steering wheel is either too high for proper driving position or too low, and it obstructs part of the instrument cluster. I tried raising and lowering the seat, but to no avail.
On top of the dash, there's a USB port and an optional universal phone cradle. Volkswagen offers an app called Maps and More, which includes sat-nav, as well as it allows you to control the multimedia, and then it shows you some of the stuff which you already have here on the instrument cluster. So, for example, you have fuel consumption, which theoretically you may not have here if you don't have the advanced MD is it called? Trip computer, so theoretically maybe you won't get that. There is your coolant temperature, which, okay, could be replaced with just a little red light there on the instrument binnacle. And there's your ref counter, which I have there, so I have no clue why it's here. If I were a sporty type, I would probably like to see my oil pressure, my oil temperature, perhaps even a boost gauge. Okay, so if I don't want that, there is also a stopwatch. But I assume boy racers will replace that with a dedicated app or more sophisticated time measuring device.
Legroom and headroom in the back is more generous than in some larger cars. I can't recall the last time I had so much space for my feet. Of course, Up is a 4-seater, passengers have a cup holder each, and there is one more in the middle to share with the front passenger. There are a couple of shopping bag hooks in the 251-liter boot, as well as a double floor. Backrests split 40-60, and with the double floor, you get a flat loading area. Volkswagen Up is available as a 3-door or a 5-door. I'd rather get a regular Up in 5-door version, but the GTI looks better with just 3 doors, and I don't expect I'd be buying one to carry people around. This is more of a fun car like Abarth 500. Abarth is more expensive, but it's faster and it sounds better. Speaking of prices, Up GTI starts at just below €17,000, and an extra pair of doors will cost you €480. This test car has some options like phone cradle and upgraded radio, climate control. This gives a grand total of about €18,500, more or less where the Abarth starts, about $1,000 more than a similarly spec'd Twingo GT.
I won't try convincing you Up GTI is an ideal car for everyone. It's not. Unless you're looking for a small city car which you can misbehave in on the way to the shops, Up GTI will be an annoyance. 18 grand for a small toy is a lot of money, especially when you can get a second-hand Fiesta ST, which will destroy Up GTI.
And what do you think about small hot hatches? Worth considering or too little for too much money? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends. New episodes every Friday. Also, help me on Patreon or PayPal, links in the description below. And if you got this far, there's a little giveaway, so yay you for sticking around. Okay, so there are still a couple of weeks of summer vacations left, and I've got something just for you, and it's a GTI beach set, which will make you the fastest bloke or girl on the beach. Yeah. Anyway, so there are some sunglasses, white or black, because there are two sets. One is for the Polish viewers and the other one is for the English viewers. There is a pair of GTI flip-flops, a beach bag of some sort, a towel and a pillow. All this will let you rest nice and comfortable, hopefully. So, I cannot guarantee the flip-flop size, so I'm sure you'll find someone with bigger or smaller feet, or maybe they'll fit you, whatever. Now, what you have to do to get this, write a comment below this particular video using a hashtag Marek Drives Contest, that's important, and because YouTube deleted private messages, I'll also ask you to send an email to this address here with your username in the title, so that I can sort of join the two together, your comment and your email, and then I'll know that if your comment was best, I'll email you. And speaking of, your comment was best, was it? I don't know, we'll see about that. What you have to do to get this is write me a comment why you like GTI. It doesn't have to be Volkswagen GTI. Maybe it's Peugeot 308 GTI that you really like, or a Peugeot 208 GTI that you really like. Now, trust me, you're gonna look ridiculous driving to the beach in your 208 GTI, wearing Volkswagen GTI sunglasses and flip-flops, but I don't care, you know, if that's your thing, that's your thing. Anyway, write me why you like GTI. And please, please, please do it in 250 characters, including the hashtag Marek Drives Contest. So do it all together, be nice and concise, polite, etc., etc. You have 2 days to submit your answers, your reasons why you like GTI. So you have time until Sunday, 12th of August, 3 o'clock p.m. Central European Time. After that time, I will not consider any more submissions. I will select something within the next few days and I will contact you based on the email and the comment, and you know the drill. Now, terms and conditions which apply to this giveaway are on my website, wieruszewski.com, which you cannot spell anyway, I suppose. So it's linked down below, and I'm really sorry for you viewers from outside the EU, but since I'm paying for postage, let's stick to EU only. If you have an uncle who lives somewhere within the EU, but you are from the States, I will email it, or sorry, not email, I will mail it to your uncle, and then he can send it to the States, to the Middle East, to wherever you are from. But my cat is here and I have to finish. Frankie? See? A cat. 1 million likes and shares.